Hello and welcome to Pixel Pickers. Today we're going to be talking about the Switch 2 announcement direct and see how our guesses lined up with the actual results.
Now let's get pixel picked. Here's the music for the Pixel Pickers. Welcome to Pixel Pickers, where two best friends talk about the pixels we all love. This is Jarvis.
And I'm Josh.
All right, bud. So we are getting into it. How wrong we were, but how happy we are with the Switch too. Before we say anything about it, though, how you feel?
So now that I've had about 10 or so minutes to calm down from that last announcement, really.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm just kind of to quote Beast Boy, I'm feeling whelmed.
Yeah. Very whelmed right now. Nothing super shocking other than, a third-party development announcement that really got to me, but I don't think was as big a hit for you. We'll go over that later. But overall, a whelming Nintendo Direct. Nothing shocking.
Nothing shocking necessarily for me or you, I think. I know there are definitely some people out there that I know people have been clamoring for Deltarune, for example. And so I know there are some
made
things
to be on Nintendo, honestly.
And haven't played Undertale, so I wouldn't know. Sorry, don't crucify me. You'll notice that a lot as we go through this podcast, where I just miss things sometimes.
It's true.
Can't play everything.
Waste a lot of time on bad games, though, so that's why I would crucify you.
Sir, I played through all of the Darkness 2 last weekend, so
I saw, not last weekend. I'm pretty sure you were playing that as recently as yesterday. I got onto Discord and it said playing Darkness 2. I was like, what fucking year is it?
Hey, that's me, everybody. Sometimes I just get a hankering for some classic games. So I have some notes that are kind of in order. So
let's walk through them.
Yeah, the first thing they showed off was the console itself. I'm really digging the design.
Yeah, the rounded corners looking great.
The rounded corners. I like. At first, I didn't know how I felt about I know they showed it off before. I didn't know how I felt about the dark Switch 2 itself. The muted colors with the lines on them for the color. Because I'll be honest, I liked that the Switch was bright and loud. There were the two versions you could buy when it launched. I got the blue and red one because I was like, it looks different. I know some people want everything to blend in with their entertainment stand, and I understand that. Not me. I know the PS5 is ugly as hell. I love it that it's just so different looking.
I think you got to have contrast in your design,
100%.
That's what they're definitely hitting with that. But, Switch 2, trying to get that blend in with, some still Nintendo-like accents on it. You got a little color underneath on everything. But, yeah, I'm digging it. So it's not an exciting design. It's not groundbreaking. I don't think anyone was expecting that with the Switch 2 design. Though.
Yeah, and I'm glad they played it safe because honestly, Nintendo scares me.
Yes.
If we look at their last 1, 2, 3... we look at all their consoles back to the Nintendo 64, they are all vastly different. I think NES to SNES to N64, very similar in design, and then they went a little crazy with the controller on the Nintendo 64. Nintendo, I only got 2 hands, I don't got 3. That the middle finger that I have down there ain't for playing a game.
No.
It's too small to do that anyway. But
couldn't even do a C stick with it.
Oh no.
Or a C button in this case.
Right. So they did show off the C button, actually. The much talked about what is the C button. I thought it was going to be a capture button, record video, or even I thought they were going to make it their streaming button, like how the PS4 and Xbox One had.
Yeah, you're not too far off with the streaming button idea.
Right. And I like the idea they went with, which is C stands for chat.
Chat.
And it's basically just Discord built into the Switch 2.
Yeah, we saw it featured most prominently with their spoilers for the rest of the games we're going to talk about. Super Mario Party Jamboree re-released on Switch 2, and Mario Kart World. They were showing it featured a lot there.
Right.
So
And just with other games in general.
Yeah.
Because it literally looks like they just took Discord and put it on your Switch and said,
Yeah,
we're not paying you Discord.
You've got your own big screen, and then you can swap over to everyone else's, check out their streams. And that's very neat, very fun to have that integrated right into the system.
Yeah, so like I'll probably end up using that a good bit because I know of the launch games we saw, there was maybe one that interested, I think probably only both of us. There's only one launch game announced so far. They have more months. I think we're going to see some bigger indie games get announced for it, most likely. I don't see any more first-party Nintendos getting announced, but Nintendo loves to prove me wrong on things. Except when I guess things, which I've done twice successfully so far. No, Josh Stradamus is here.
Yeah, Josh Stradamus feeling real big about guessing
the very obvious things.
The very obvious things.
Okay, but well, still, hey, that first one, Tomodachi Life, that wasn't obvious.
No,
that was I literally
obvious, but also nobody ever heard you. I'm the only person that had heard you
I put that shit on internet. I put that shit on the internet. I saw it. I was like, I fucking shot a random bullet into the sky and a bird fell out. And I said, I did that on purpose.
Well, a bird, more like a drone in the shape of a bird that no one really cares about.
Oh, Tom, that trailer's doing numbers. We talked about last podcast.
That trailer sure is, but we'll see if the game actually does numbers or not.
Well, I can tell you there's one copy that's going to be sold, and it's going to be to my house, and it's going to be my wife, and she's not going to shut up about it for at least 5 years. And you know what? Good. It'll make her happy, and I'm happy for her.
That's fine.
But, yeah, the capture button, I think the Discord element looks sick. Like, the video and, like, the picture-in-picture they have while you're playing.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm just like, how does that work?
Trying to integrate the Nintendo Switch camera into it seems very fun. Mario Party, getting your face in the game all the time, very interesting. I don't know that a ton of people will want to be using that feature, but it's something new. We'll see if Nintendo has any other developers that are going to try to use it at all, but I don't really think so.
What do you think is the countdown? Well, first question, because I don't play Mario Party.
Yeah.
Does Mario Party have online, like, play with randoms feature?
I don't know. I haven't played a new Mario Party, so I can't answer that question for you.
If it did, how quickly do we see the news story that some kid saw a penis on Mario Party?
No.
Like day one, right?
I think they are going to lock the camera feature to, because when they showed it being used with Mario Party Jamboree, it was 4 friends and it picked all of their faces on one camera. So I don't think it's going to be that feature will be an online feature.
I don't think it could be. It's just like streaming the video as well as it green screens you at the same time without a like you're getting chroma keyed without a green or blue screen.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Like now, like while this system does look impressive, like I don't think they released actual specs for it yet. I don't know with how their internet has worked on previous consoles. I don't see it handling it like that. I don't think a PS5 or Xbox One could handle. I don't think most PCs could handle that well.
No, this isn't. You need a streaming PC effectively.
Yeah,
a setup built for that, and everyone involved would need a setup built for that. And I don't think the Switch is going to have that hardware necessarily to do so. Yeah, which is fair. It's not what I'm going to the Switch for even a little bit. It's just a fun feature I think added for more couch co-op stuff.
I don't think I've ever gone to a Nintendo platform for its graphics or technical capabilities.
Yeah. Or its online play.
Oh, yeah.
Or any of this.
Don't think I've ever played a Nintendo game online. I'll be straight up with you.
Oh, man. Unless you're... No. Honestly, no. The most I use my Nintendo online is just, pulling down Mario levels. That's about it. That's as online as I get with it.
I don't even think I've used it for that. Like, I think I played some of the emulated games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I played through a little bit more of Earthbound again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's really all. Like, I don't know what I've used Nintendo Switch Online for. Because you didn't need it for Pokemon. You could do just local. Because I didn't go online with Pokemon. I played it locally with people.
Switch and Nintendo themselves always very into the, your local near field connections and all of that. Like, great. The Switch 2 still in line with that. Seeing game sharing with certain games across consoles, that's great. Happy to see that, and I think you'll see that with what's it called? Hazelight, their split fiction as well. I bet that you can probably do that. One cartridge, two consoles on the same couch or something.
Oh yeah,
we'll see.
That's another feature they did talk about, bringing it back from the DS. Actually, that had it originally. I think what they call it, not game sharing. They had a name.
I don't know.
Tip of the hat if you remember it. I couldn't confirm it, but I would know you were right if I heard it.
Yeah.
But they have where you can have one person have the game, and then other people can play it. Which Hazelight already does that. If you buy any of their co-op games, like you get the buddy copy. But that's gonna be great for like Mario Kart and stuff. Like,
because
aren't they
Mario
right now?
Kart,
Mario
we
Party,
do another Smash. I don't think
Smash is definitely.
I don't think we're gonna see it with the newly announced Street Fighter 6 edition. You'll probably still have to have two copies. Capcom's gonna take all their money that they can from you. But
third party's gonna be weird. Third party's gonna be weird about it, 100%. If they were real cool about it, because like, especially with it being a fighting game, fighting games live, like, it's called the FGC. You don't hear the first person shooter community. You don't hear anything like that. It is the FGC for like the entirety of all fighting games. Thrives off other people, so I could actually see that being a thing.
Yeah, definitely could be. It's just, is Capcom gonna play into that, because they would literally only be playing into that for the Nintendo market, which would be cool to see.
I mean, weirder things have happened.
Absolutely.
Let's see, what else did they show off for hardware side? We saw another look at the Joy-Cons. Mouse mode, definitely confirmed.
Absolutely. What everybody kind of thought was happening, but wasn't confirmed until now. So, giving you... what was the name of the game that was, heavily using the mouse?
Oh, the one where you're in the wheelchairs and you're going. It's like
the roller.
It was a very generic name. I could not tell you. That game went in one eye and out the back of my head almost immediately.
It looked entirely bland outside of its, actual gameplay features, which is crazy.
Gave me Bomberman Zero vibes, like, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Like cutesy Bomberman Zero. Now, granted, if it's $10, I'll give it a try. Like, straight up, I'll waste $10 on it.
It's got to be online exclusive. But yeah.
Nintendo Switch Online, they do the PlayStation Plus Games with Gold thing, and they Rocket League it. Rocket League was free on PlayStation at first.
That'd be a good move.
Now that if they start doing that, where Nintendo doesn't want to give out their games, they're still charging $60 for Mario Odyssey.
Well, they'll give out their games if it doesn't have a name brand character on it, though. I feel like I feel like they would do that.
Like,
I'm just
like an ARMS, basically.
Exactly.
I could see that.
Yeah. What other things were we seeing? We have a little bit of backwards compatibility with some Switch games. Definitely said with compatible games. So
and that's up to developers to patch it. That was the same thing on older consoles. I think the only one that really did that the best ever was Xbox and Microsoft with their smart delivery system.
Yeah, that worked.
And so basically any game that you can just play it. And you can do that with PS5. Like, most games play perfectly fine. I think like there was an Assassin's Creed game. I think it was the one that everybody likes, Syndicate. The one after Unity. So it was not the bad one.
It's London.
Yeah. So I know that one was like unplayable on PS5 for some reason. Like, it just did not like talking. What else? But yeah, so more importantly, what I want to get to for looking at my notes are like, so I know I say I'm not the graphics guy. I am a frame rate guy though. And I'm not even that much frame rate guy. I'm like a stable 60. That's all I need. Yeah. But they're touting 4K 60 docked.
Yep.
1080p 120. I assume that's also docked. And they're shooting for 1080p 60 undocked, so it looked like.
Yeah. 1080 60 undocked.
Because they showed menus, and you can do 4K 1440. It looked like it went below 1080 too.
Yes. Yeah, you could bring it as low to that, or bring it lower than that, which is nice for some folks popping around to different TVs and outputs.
Yeah, but I feel like those TVs wouldn't be, because I assume it's HDMI 2.0, and would do old TVs support HDMI?
I don't know. You know, if you're using an old TV or something like that, you probably have a converter or some way to get it going.
Yeah,
Some
that's
little splitter.
it was just weird. I was like, that's a weird thing. Like, I don't think I can do that with my PS5. I'd have to check. I've never looked.
Yeah.
uh,
Things that I don't need to know, have never needed to know.
but they showed off I like the graphical like showings like this is how a frame rate works. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
that
sick
was
with the
nice.
Mario jumping. Like,
Yeah, you see, you know, a bunch of little Marios and how many are on the screen, and then doubling up the number of Marios below and showing the pixel count on a close up of Mario. Very good.
yes, I'm actually that's what I'm most excited about because
Yeah.
that 720p was fine back in 2017. It was still a little behind the times, but you know, it was a
Yeah.
mobile console. And I was like, whatever. But now, like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, oof, man, these games
There's
looking
no
a little
reason
rough.
you can't be outputting at 1080.
Like,
with the mobile market as it is right now.
Because they did show Metroid Prime 4. It's the fourth one, yeah.
Yeah, Beyond.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. They showed gameplay from that, and it uses the mouse mode. And also, it looks like it said it goes up to 120 frames for that game. Crazy. It'll be smooth as hell.
Absolutely wild, yeah. But that one is also getting a Switch and Switch 2 release, so it'll be interesting to see if the game itself is limited more on the Switch 2 or if it struggles on the Switch. I feel like it's going to be more the former, where it's going to be a little not, you know, using the Switch 2 to its full capacity initially.
That Digital Foundry video is going to go hard, though. The comparison videos are going to go insane. Look at this 8-year-old console versus this brand spanking new one.
Oh my god, Nintendo really fumbled it on the Switch 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's gonna be like when you played Last of Us on PlayStation 3, then you played the remaster, and you're like, oh, yeah, how did I play it before?
Yeah, no, it looks entirely real when you're playing the remaster now.
But what I'm excited for, so they have the mouse mode for it, right? Mm-hmm. One of my like gaming like controller solutions I would love. So like I love mouse and keyboard for like first person shooters, third person shooters, right? I prefer analog movement. It just makes more sense. It's easier to control your movement than the WASD WASD for you gamers. But you could, if you're doing the mouse mode, which hopefully they make a thing you can put your Joy-Con in to make it have the body of a mouse.
Yeah,
because otherwise,
like, definitely need something. It looks like so awkward. Yeah,
it's not. You're gonna get that's carpal tunnel. Yeah, I'm old. I'm getting old.
I don't want to be rubbing that like the docking part of the Joy-Con on any surface, even like a mouse or a mouse pad surface. Still just seems weird to go from that to docking it in. So like, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not. That does worry me. That's one of those things I was telling you about. Like I'm worried about the magnets because that's just friction, right? Unless there's like components raising it. I didn't look hard enough. There might be components raising it off, but still with like how it's shaped, you're gonna like flip, like you're gonna turn it sideways on accident if you try to move your mouse too fast.
Well, I'm not too worried about the magnets because the magnets are still gonna be internal to all of that.
Are they internal?
Yeah. That's what they showed during the specs part of it, showing like how everything works. Which there's going to be a paid Switch 2 digital game in which you Astrobot like move around a Nintendo Switch 2 and explore its features.
Except it's lamer.
Well, yes, no, it's just in terms of video game commercials, it's just wild that it's paid. Yeah, it seems like that should just be built-in software.
Just include that. Just include that. That's crazy.
It's so weird.
But I will
we'll
play
see what the price ends up being and all of that.
We'll play Metroid 4 mouse mode.
Yeah. Now, what excites me about mouse mode is, we saw some other previously released games like Cyberpunk 2077. That's going to be fun to use that in mouse mode, even as like a console gamer. But it's, they said it'll be compatible games again. So it depends on who wants to actually allow that or not.
I think Cyberpunk 2 being a Switch 2 exclusive release, I think if it's a like exclusive release, like that's just a control mode now. Like every Switch game has gyro controls, if it has shooting controls. and you turn that shit off immediately.
Yes, it's just terrible.
So I assume there will be a mouse mode for especially shooter games.
Yeah,
if you've ever played a shooter on the Switch, you know it feels awful on the original Joy-Cons.
Yeah, those sticks are so small. The sticks still seem like the length of them isn't quite where I'd want it to be.
A little longer,
but
they're bigger.
Yeah, they're definitely bigger. It's still, they just look like little nubbins coming out of it.
Yeah, they look like Vita sticks still.
Exactly.
Like it's not enough. I love the Vita, and I'm glad we're getting the Vita 3.
Yeah.
But just come on, I got big hands, you know.
Exactly.
I got grippers. Give me some big sticks to grip.
They also buffed up the size of the SL and SR, or R2 are the
L2
R2
R2
buttons. That's nice. I definitely could feel my fingers slipping off those when I'd be playing it. So I like that. 2 USB-C ports, top and bottom. That's a great move.
Are they both charging parts is the question. Because just because there's 2 ports doesn't mean they're both charging ports.
One could that's what they showed.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I was taking notes also, so like I might have missed some details that they only showed on the screen.
256 gigs of storage.
That's
sweet.
Great.
The original model, if I had to guess, I would have said it was 64, but no, it was only 32 gigs, which is just an insanely low amount.
I know. I'm still on my launch Switch 2.
Yep.
Or correction, my Switch 1.
And then,
and still
the dock
micro
outputs
SD cards
to 4K, but it doesn't take your Nintendo Switch brand micro SD cards.
Which is weird because I just have a regular ass like SanDisk micro SD card in mine.
Yeah.
So
you'll have to use micro SD Express cards for extra storage.
Okay, they're micro SD Express. I mean, they probably want the faster transfer times, I guess.
Yeah. Because, if they don't do that, then when I'm playing, Breath of the Wild and I'm getting, Switch 1 era load times on it, I'm going to be pissed off.
Yep.
But if it's, I'm playing off an Express, it's going to be a bit easier on that.
It's probably going to be like the HDD to solid state kind of feel. I don't know. Yeah. I couldn't tell you the specifics of like I'm not the storage guy. I couldn't tell you all about all the different micro storages.
No,
I knew micro SD Express existed. I just assumed it had faster transfer times. I think that's probably all it is.
Yeah. Let's see. Scrolling through features and stuff. The battery said to last between 2 and 6.5 hours. Definitely sucks.
I mean, that's about
exactly
comparable.
what I would expect.
That's about what the Steam Deck lasts too, I think.
It depends on what game I'm playing. I could get my Steam Deck going for 10 hours on a
like a small indie game.
Exactly. And that's what I play very frequently on my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Is some sort of indie survivor game. And I want 10 hours of that.
I think my Switch 2, now granted, I use it with the battery pack on and I use third-party controllers on the side to fit my big ass hands. Like I don't think I've used a regular Joy-Con in years. I think I get like when I was playing through Final Fantasy 12 on it, I still need to get around to beating. Got to like some bullshit difficulty spike and just kind of like I'll come back to this. It made me mad.
Yeah, as you're going through the Zodiacs and stuff.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing, and it's like something just like insta killed my whole team. I was like, I'll just come back to this.
Yeah, you're. It allows you to get to those fights early, and you should not.
Yeah, and I think my Switch, the battery, like I was getting like 3.5 hours, which without having to like put my other charger on, and for a console that I bought in 2017. And used a lot. I've used that thing a lot. And the battery still lasts that well. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's solid. But, I mean, honestly, for the most part, either I'm going to be playing it docked or I'm going to be playing it on my couch plugged in. So,
yeah,
it will not affect me.
I'm very rarely not plugged in with my Switch. It's portable in the fact that I can play it 5 inches from my face sitting on my bed.
Or I can take it over to a friend's house, but again, I'm still gonna be like, you got an extension cord, so I don't die in the middle of this, or I bring my own. But for those train commuters, bus commuters, and stuff, you want a bigger battery. But I think 2 to 6.5 hours should be good enough.
Yeah, and I think the 2, I think like that Mario Kart World, that's a 2-hour game right there. Cyberpunk, that's a 2-hour game.
Yeah.
Those games looked way too pretty.
Yeah, we're talking about some gorgeous games. Do we want to hit anything else with the the dock has a built-in fan now as well, which I just love. Definitely won't be seeing frame dips even when docked, which was always surprising with the Switch.
I haven't played it enough docks. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought it was super. I assumed it'd be steady. But again,
nope.
Old system. Was it? Is heat that would? It was getting like heat.
It was heat, and it was. I think they didn't optimize the way that it outputs properly, so it's probably a lot of different features. None of this is what I care about.
Yeah, frankly. As long as it doesn't sound like the PS4 late in its life, that's all I care. We start up it's like Top Gun, the jets just starting to and that's all I care about. But yeah, I think that's all really about the hardware I want to talk about. Like, the hardware will be neat.
Yeah, absolutely. I care what the hardware is supporting.
Right. Like, how many gimmicks do you like really care about? Like, do you still care about adaptive triggers on the PS5?
Yeah, actually, I fucking love.
I do too, actually.
Bad example.
Yeah, because I said that, and then I recently played a PSVR 2 for the first time and felt adaptive triggers in Resident Evil 8 Village. Oh, I shot. If you shoot the shotgun, it like shakes on your face. And I was like, I've never felt more powerful.
That's great.
That's a tangent, though.
Well, I mean, still on that same tangent, Ratchet and Clank. I love the awful, awful gimmicks with all those. Astrobot,
Returnal.
love the terrible adaptive. Yep, very fun.
Are they terrible for Astrobot?
Well, yeah, it's stupid. I love it.
Oh, okay. I'll say I thought Astrobot was a flawless game. It's like the first.
Well, yeah, you are the way that some people are for Nintendo. You are for Sony. So when they make something really good, you think it's the best ever.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I grew up with Sony. My Nintendo growing up was a Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance, and then like I started falling off in the DS era because my parents wouldn't buy me DS games, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about next. I'm going to go into games, but I want to talk about the upgrade system. So there are 3 ways that you can play a game on your Nintendo Switch 2. 1, easy. You can play a Nintendo Switch 2 game, lose your key with the times.
Makes sense.
2, it's backwards compatible for a unspecified amount of its library.
Like a lot.
Looked like
a major portion of the library.
It looked like anything you might want to actually go back and play, you can probably play.
Makes sense.
And then the 3rd way is upgrade packs, harkening back to PS4, Sony. Speaking of Sony, like PS3 to PS4 or PS4 to PS5. Some games have upgrade editions where they have upgraded frame rate or graphics or different features inside of it, like we saw with Tears of the Kingdom, where it says there's a bonus fee. I hope that's no more than $10.
There's no way it's only going to be $10. Your Tears of the Kingdom upgrade is going to be at least $20, but I expect $30 personally.
That would make that a $100 game to play on the Switch 2.
Unsurprising.
That would be insane. That would stop me from playing it again.
Yeah,
like $10. I'll pop in for like 6 or 7 hours and just pop out.
That's what I want. That's where it should be, but we'll see.
Yeah, because they did not announce a price during the Direct. I think you have it pulled up, though.
I do have the price. We will discuss price when we go directly into our kind of going over what we talked about last week with our little game of guessing what the Switch was launching at. Switch 2 was launching at.
All right, so first game they announced was Mario Kart World.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looked tight.
Looks so good.
Tony Hawk's grinding on this. You got Mario dressed like a fuckboy on the beach.
Wall jumps. I saw a cow from Harvest Moon in there for some reason. I got no problem with that.
Was it Harvest Moon or is it Stardew? Is the question.
It is definitely not Stardew. It would be Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons, which is what those games are called now.
So it makes me wonder are those Nintendo exclusive? They're not
yes,
Nintendo.
I think so.
They're not Nintendo outright though.
No. They always have been on Nintendo consoles. I don't think I've ever seen one Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon pop up on a different, but it's not my game, so I don't know that much about it. I'm more Animal Crossing than I am Harvest Moon, and I'm definitely more Stardew Valley than I am Harvest Moon.
But that brings me to the question of guest characters. So quick, off the rip, 3 guest characters. Don't say Link, because he was already in the old one.
I'm going to go with Ganon.
Okay.
Oh, man. Now I'm trying to think of characters that haven't been in there. Let's go.
Has Bayonetta been in there?
No, absolutely not. That'd be so much fun.
It's too good of an idea.
Yeah. It'd be so good. Who else? Who's kind of featured over there?
Hey, hear me out. We bring back double dash mechanics.
Yeah.
And you get the astral chain guy.
The astral chain guys that no one knows the name of.
Ryu?
Ice climbers.
Akira.
You're just saying that.
I'm just saying Japanese names, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Akira is such a safe guess.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll go with Ice Climbers. And Kid Icarus.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kirby, but we have Kirby Air Ride that got announced.
Air Riders.
Riders on the Storm.
New Sakurai Kirby game. I don't care.
I mean,
Air Ride was not my game. We'll see how it does.
I guarantee there are people that are flipping their shit because that was their childhood game.
Yeah, that game also hit pretty solid in Japan. I think it was well received over there. But when it came out, it was just it felt old already on the GameCube.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's not a good look.
No, but back to Mario Kart World, looks great.
Yeah, everything about it, I was like, they're just doing Burnout Paradise Mario. Yep. Let's go. Our more Forza Horizon, I guess, is a more modern example.
I mean, we're not talking an ancient game with Burnout Paradise, but Forza Horizon.
We're talking a 2008 game, an almost 20-year-old game.
Sure.
That's pretty ancient gaming time, babe.
I mean, this is just your opinion.
We're getting old. You just have to get over it. I don't think it's 20 years, coming up on 20 years old. It might come into this, but two generations ago. So Horizon's probably the more apt comparison. But everything about it, oof, very exciting.
I'm saying you don't have to update your comparison every time. People will still know what these things are. As long people of our era will still know.
That's true. But the kids, they won't know. They won't know the glory of Burnout. So
again, all of these things still available online. It's not like it got burnt in a big Atari ditch. No copies of it exist anymore.
And why won't they HD remaster them for me?
Because they don't need to. You'll still just play the old one. By the way, that new title, the wheelchair basketball game, that was Drag X Drive.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, it's actually not a bad name.
No, it's good for what it is, and it's very much a gimmicky game. You're using this 2 Switch 2 mouse Joy-Cons, and then kind of trying to intuitively wheelchair around. Looks fun.
I understand why they chose that name, because you're dragging your Joy-Cons.
Yeah. And
why
you're driving around?
But why didn't they triple down and make it drag queens? Because that would have gone well in Japan, I don't think.
No, wouldn't have gone well in America at this point.
I would have bought it if it was drag queens doing it. That would have been amazing. A triple entendre? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So for games, I have them in no specific order. They also, one that I'm very excited about, Hyrule Warriors: The Age of Imprisonment. Let's just talk about how badass that name is, first of all.
Such a good name. The logo looks fire. We're basically semi-spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom if you haven't played a 2-year-old game. It's not big, but, skip ahead 5 minutes, let's say, while we're talking about this. Zelda goes to the past in that, and I believe it's the Zonai are the race of bunny men. Maybe
the furry people.
Because it's
sounds about right. The
Zonai and the Hylians, and that are Hylians, and so you're covering this kind of original era of Ganon rising to power and fighting Zelda with the Zonai and the Hylians. Probably going to see a lot of new characters popping up in this. Very fun. Looks great. Loved both of the Hyrule Warriors games, especially Age of Calamity, though.
Oh yeah, I loved both of them. I think Age of Calamity is 100% the better game.
Yeah,
I liked having all the characters in the nonsense story that was the first one, which I'm one thing, because Muso games, especially if they're based off IP, I think need to relish in the IP itself.
Yeah.
And one of the things I didn't like about Age of Calamity was it was stuck in the Breath of the Wild universe. I'm like, there's so much fun stuff we couldn't do because of that. Now, granted, that game was dope, and I like it better than Breath of the Wild. But with this one, I'm like, so who do we have? Like, we'll have Ganon will obviously be in it, obviously Zelda, and the Zonai people names I don't know.
No, I didn't remember any of their names at this point. You're getting all of that story through cutscenes and Tears of the Kingdom, so it was fine. It was good story, but I was kind of just trying to get back to the amazing gameplay of Tears.
Yeah, it's like when Monster Hunter gives you a cutscene, you're like, I don't care about this kid's feelings towards just monsters. Let me kill it. So,
but yeah, looks great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was kind of a guess for both of us. I think we were expecting not necessarily Hyrule Warriors, but
a Zelda spin-off
potentially of it. Yeah, exactly.
So we got that.
Let's do another. Let's keep talking first parties.
Okay.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the thing that closed out the show.
Yeah, what a great closeout it was, because it looks so good. It looks like the Mario Odyssey of the Donkey Kong.
That was literally a trailer that just started, and it would just kept on giving. Every time you thought you saw everything, it just got better.
Yeah, a lot of subterranean moving around, really destructible environments. We're using the new old Donkey Kong design where he's got the pushed in together mono eye. His goggle eyes, effectively.
It looks kind of scary in HD. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, he looks terrifying.
Unsettling.
He looks gorgeous. The fur, he's got suspenders on. He's looking great. But yeah, as you were saying, they kept showing off features, and initially it was like, hey, here's all the new stuff. Oh, by the way, here's some barrel jumping. Oh, by the way, here's a side-scrolling segment. Here's a minecart segment. There's all of these new bosses and characters. Great vibe. I don't know who's working on that, but
I imagine it's the Odyssey team. What have they
I feel like the Odyssey team is probably working on a new Mario game already, like an Odyssey 2.
They're making Donkey Kong the new Mario, baby.
No
Rise
way.
up.
Hey, he's gonna be great.
Ape strong together.
They're not gonna push our little Italian down to the sewers.
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but I'm very excited for this game. The style, the music, the gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's not a day one. It's doing the Odyssey thing where it comes out.
Yeah, just a little bit
later. This one, I think, a lot sooner than Odyssey did. I think Odyssey came out in August, October timeframe.
It was pretty late. It may have been the next year.
No, it was same year. It was same year.
Was it?
Yeah, same year.
Okay, I thought it was 2018.
No, it was still the same year, but it came out later in the year. And
this is just 1 month later.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick turnaround. And they and I'm probably gonna watch that trailer again tonight because that was great.
Yeah, looked fantastic. That is Donkey Kong Bananza.
And just in terms, so third parties, but kind of a first party exclusive, call that second party, I guess. Something that you're definitely excited about that didn't.
Yes.
I mean, actually, seeing the trailer, I'm like, this looks dope. But I say that about every one of these. Exclusive from Soft. From Soft. Sorry, I've been drinking
Make
Dr.
sure to
Pepper.
take your from Soft.
Exclusive from Soft Miyazaki game called Duskbloods. Dope name. Everything about this game looks cool. I will probably try it and not like it because I never gotten any of these Souls games. So this might be the one.
Also, if you play a game for 40 hours, you did get into it, even if you force yourself to play it. So
yeah, but I wasn't enjoying myself.
Doesn't matter. You still got into it. 40 hours. 40.
It's over 2 separate playthroughs, by the way.
But still,
because I was like, I gotta understand.
Amount of time.
I just don't understand. This game looks great. Like it's everything about it sounds good on paper to me, but man, I'm just not having fun playing it.
Yeah, you just gotta try a different play style, I'd say. I don't know.
Yeah, I tried Great
Doesn't
Sword and
matter.
Katana.
Duskbloods Duskbloods.
Duskbloods.
Duskbloods looks like if Elden Ring is to Dark Souls, then Duskbloods is to Bloodborne, is how it definitely feels.
And thank God Lies of P already came out, because this would have ate their fucking lunch.
Yeah, I don't know. Liza P is very unique. Have you played that one at all?
Nope. Saw a Souls game, didn't care.
Nope, totally different. Feels incredibly different from just a regular Souls game. It's more along the line of your Bloodborne in terms of its combat, but the kind of switch ups and all of that and the different systems they have during combat make it feel really great. It's also way easier than a Souls game, I think.
Oh, okay. So it's probably fun.
Again, you're just
fun is subjective.
I just don't get
fun is subjective.
Well, no, it's just I don't think that the games are difficult. I think you're a bitch. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they're too difficult. Like I think in Elden Ring there was like 3 or 4 bosses that took me more than 5 tries, let's say.
Damn, you are bad. I didn't realize.
I don't play these games.
Yeah, neither did I. Elden Ring was literally my first one.
Well, maybe I just didn't know what I was doing because the game. I don't know. I just look. They're just not for me.
Listen, you can suck at games. Just accept it, Josh.
Okay, I'll say sure. I suck at Souls games. I think the only Souls game I really liked was the Jedi series, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, that just looks. That has the trappings of a Souls game. That doesn't like actually play like a Souls game at all. You got to be awkward. It's got to feel bad to play. You know.
It's got to feel bad to play.
Yeah.
It's just that doesn't sell me on them. You're not selling me on these.
I'm not trying to sell you. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be bad.
But I know everybody and their mom is going to be excited for this. It's going to have some great lore videos.
Yeah.
And
which I do not enjoy doing lore videos. I just like feeling it myself.
Yeah, I could see that. But maybe they. I'm gonna stop talking shit because I'll just start talking shit about why I don't like these games. I don't feel like that's a whole other. That's like a longer conversation.
Yeah, you're a salty boy. You just like to be salty sometimes.
Sometimes it's okay to be salty. Sometimes.
Sometimes I agree. So other third-party games coming that re-releases. Hades 2, awesome.
Hell yeah.
Totally expected.
Yep.
Street Fighter 6, aforementioned. Hopefully we'll be getting some of that, screen sharing or cartridge sharing between people playing locally. I'd really love that. Split Fiction, same thing. Hopefully you'll be able to share locally. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
With SpongeBob?
Yep. With SpongeBob. I
forgot
wonder
about
if that's
that.
Exclusive to the Switch.
If it is, you got me.
That'd be a
you
wild
got
move.
me.
Yeah, I'll get it there.
I'm going to be dripped out, Squidward in the Supreme shirt, rocking out. It's going to be great.
Hitman World of Assassination, not a game that I love, but a game that I appreciate for its creativity. That's awesome. Announced with that is IO doing Project 007, a new James Bond game. Probably going to fucking rule.
That's not a new announcement. We've known about that. That's that's the first trailer. They've talked about it.
If you talk about it and you don't actually show anything, then you didn't really announce it. I feel like, yeah, certain things are talked about. Like Half-Life 3 isn't announced, but it's been talked about forever. And we're gonna get that trailer someday.
Exclusive for the Switch 2.
Yeah. And then Demon X Machina, a game that neither of us played, but looked pretty sweet on the Switch 2.
Yeah, I was like, do I need to go play that game? Because that looked sick.
Looked like a really good new platinum IP, and it tricked me into thinking it was because I had no idea.
I thought it was Vanquish at first. Like one of the games that went through my brain was like, is this Vanquish? Is this Vanquish?
Those characters were not ugly enough to be from Vanquish.
Well, it's been a long time since Vanquish. I was just talking about like the armor because it was like very white and shiny. Yeah. It looks like it had a bunch of boosters on it. Bring back Vanquish. That game ripped.
Yeah, bring back Vanquish and entirely upgrade your character designs to not look like the Metal Gear Rising and Vanquish era of character design is just fucking horrendous.
You're gonna sit here and tell me Jetstream Sam isn't hot?
Yeah. The face, absolutely not. Their faces are all terrible.
But I love him for his personality.
That's not what we're talking about. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is getting a Switch 2 edition. I think that falls into the third type of Switch game we were talking about earlier.
With a DLC.
Like a boosted Switch game. Yeah.
I don't know if the DLC,
little DLC
is exclusive or not.
That's what's going to bump it up to a $50 game, I think. Yeah. A $50 upgrade.
Nope. Just buying the game again. No. Thank you. No. They did announce... So for third parties, Cyberpunk on Switch 2. Granted,
pretty
it's not going to look as good, but the fact that, just Cyberpunk from where that game started, like now we're getting it to run on a Switch 2. That's cool. Yeah. That's just crazy. What a great, one, it's an amazing game.
It's the best open world game of all time. Hands down.
Yeah, I can sell it. I can buy that for $1.
Yeah.
It's just,
I love it. So good.
What a comeback, rocky fucking story that game has had.
Yeah. Rocky 2.
Yeah, the Rocky 2 of games.
Yeah.
Other things that got announced for the indie darlings and all the Tumblr fans out there, Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 are coming out, which I think have been waited on for a couple of years now.
Yes.
Like he did Chapter 1, then like the next year was Chapter 2, and then it was like radio silence for like the last 2 years, I think.
Could have even been waiting on the Switch 2, honestly.
Could have been.
Because it's not like this, was just started, all of the internals of the Switch 2 just started coming out this year. No. They were, we've been sitting on these things and working on these things for a while.
And honestly, that's why I thought Metroid was taking so long.
Yeah, exactly. That is definitely it. That's why it's kind of surprising that it's going to be a Switch and Switch 2 edition a la Breath of the Wild.
So those are coming out. I have nothing to say on those. I didn't play Undertale. So Undertale fans, rejoice, I guess. I will try Undertale, I promise. I'm going to write that down on my to-do list right now. Oh, look. Nothing wrote out my pin because it wasn't clicked. I guess I'll never play Undertale.
No, can't do it. What game were we talking about? I don't know.
Exactly. Some loser game that no one likes.
I remember blowing someone's mind by saying that Deltarune was a scramble of Undertale. And I was like, really? Like, you didn't see that immediately? Or you didn't realize that it had a really fucking weird name?
Oh, it's anagram.
Did you just realize this?
I never thought about it. Does not care about Undertale. Heard Deltarune sequel to Undertale. Did not care. Like, did not think about it anymore past that.
Yeah, because you were just saying, like, you had only recently played Earthbound, I think.
No, I went and touched it again. Like, I played it way back when, like, when I got my first laptop and whatever. Got my first emulator. I ran through Earthbound.
But that's kind of what I mean. I feel like if you don't get Earthbound or those really weird RPGs early, then Undertale, like, and that was the big draw of Undertale was, hey, finally something that plays, feels, and has the vibe of Earthbound.
Yeah, everything I ever heard is like, it's a Sega Genesis game. And I was like, neat.
Yeah.
And I'll probably like it when I play it. There'll probably be an episode of this podcast where, like, Jarvis, have you ever heard of Undertale?
Yeah, you know about this game, Undertale? This music is so good.
I mean,
it's so fucking funny.
I have heard the music. The music does slap. Yeah. The music slaps pretty hard. I have, like, playing those in Beat Saber and stuff. Yeah, that shit slaps.
So good. That's just good cardio music, too.
It really is. But other than that, I know nothing about it. Other than that, you can kill everybody or not kill everybody.
Another day one, not necessarily launch game, but launch game system. GameCube library coming to the Switch Online service. The initial game library is just 3 games, but they're 3 bangers. Wind Waker looks amazing. It's not, the Wind Waker HD like we were predicting, but you don't really need it because it looks like, obviously, the systems and
it's upscaling,
like the bugs and the upscaling looks great for it. F-Zero GX, my second favorite GameCube racing game. Double Dash is just unbeatable for me. And then a game that I think we're both really excited to see, Soul Calibur 2.
Let's go!
Yeah, Soul Calibur 2, when it released on the GameCube, had Link as its bonus character. What were the other bonus characters on the other consoles?
For PS2, it was Heihachi from Tekken, and for Xbox, it was
sucks.
Spawn. but he didn't have his cape.
Yeah.
Because they could not handle the cape back then.
Yeah, I remember that.
We didn't have those Oblivion cape physics yet.
Yep.
So
that's good.
Question: do you think Nintendo just went to the people who make the Dolphin emulator and were like, "Hey guys, if we slide you like a quick $5 real quick, can we just use the Dolphin emulator?"
Nah, I think they had this working for a long time, and they've just spent.
Just take the Dolphin emulator. It's it's the best gaming console ever made. It is very amazing.
Fun. Yeah. Full endorsement for emulating games, which of course you already legally own, but you can't play.
Yeah, I don't have a GameCube. I have all those GameCube games behind me.
You have all the games, so you can play the ROMs.
Yeah, like see, you can't see it because the disc is behind my hand because it's so small. I can just fit here.
Exactly. You could have an entire library of GameCube games in your pocket, and you would never know.
But back to indie games, I got showed off.
Yeah.
I want to call bullshit on one.
Which one?
Silksong. Silksong with 2025 date on it. Laughable. I know every time they show it, they show a different date for it, but like, I think it would be just so funny if it just said Silksong TPA. Would be the funniest shit in the world because I think people would actually would crash out. Like Team Cherry would not be safe.
Yeah. I'm a Hollow Knight fan. But I'm not it's not my end all be all for, 2D platformers for search action games. So ultimately I'm like, I will get it. I will play it. I will enjoy it. I will love the music. I will love the designs, and I will have a medium amount of fun actually playing the game. Unless, it's she looks to be played a bit different than, I don't even know. Does Hollow Knight have a name other than Hollow Knight?
Is his name just Hollow? I don't know. I played that game.
I don't even know.
For about 4 or 5 hours, and then another game came out. A different game had come out. So I moved on to New Shiny, and then another Metroidvania thing with me. I come back to it. And I'm like, ow! I really
okay. But, we're talking about a game that released 8 years ago. You've had the time.
Granted, the first time I played it was 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They gave it to me for free on PlayStation. I was like, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to grab this. And so I played it. And I was like...
He's just called The Knight.
The Knight?
I know her name is Hornet. Yep. I had to look up his. Yep. He's just called The Knight. So he's Hollow Knight. Yeah.
When's the crossover
fun,
with Shovel Knight?
Excited. Gonna love it. Now, Shovel Knight. That's a game where I would be excited for a sequel.
Oh, my God. That's Shovel Knight 64?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's probably coming, huh?
I mean, they did the thing for Celeste where they made Celeste 64 in a game jam.
Yeah,
and it is just 3D Celeste, and it's not bad. Good time.
Yeah, the Celeste group broke up. The folks that were made that were moving on to another game.
Earthblade, which looked really cool, and they broke up.
Looks cool, awesome concept, and
you'll never see it again.
Never see the light of day.
Love that for us.
Some vaporware for you. That sucks.
Celeste was so good.
Celeste is so good. Beautiful, fun, challenging, but not punishing.
Now, let's see. I think that pretty much covers most of the big points.
Yeah, everything that kind of hit with us, Human Fall Flat 2, don't care.
Sure.
Nobunaga's Ambition, don't care. There's a lot of other stuff.
There's some Atlas
definitely
games.
Go out and watch the some C tier Atlas games are getting re-released or remade. I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. The Rydeo game could be a brand new game, or it could be a re-release.
3DS game originally, I think.
It looks like a 3DS game.
Yeah. They had a lot of those, Shin Megami Tenseis were popping off on the 3DS, apparently.
All your devil summoners, yeah. Now, SMT, what was it? 4? That was on the 3DS? That one was pretty solid.
Is that the one with Dante?
Yes. Wait. Yes. I think in the DLC, or in a DLC, he pops up.
There's one on...
No.
That's Devil Summoner
Dante
2, I
is
think.
Nocturne.
Nocturne?
Nocturne.
Okay.
That's 3.
Yeah, because that was a PS2 game, right?
Yep.
Originally. Yep. Because I remember that from, X-Play back in the day. They had the game.
Yeah, Nocturne... the mainline Shin Megami games fucking rule.
Yeah,
it's
played
your...
them.
Oh, really?
I've only played Persona.
If you go in expecting Persona, you'll hate it. If you go in expecting depression, philosophy, and anxiety, you'll love it.
I heard it's also bone-crushingly hard.
Yeah, the old ones, Nocturne absolutely is going to crush you. I haven't played the 2, prior to that. 4 gets a little bit easier, and then 5 has totally adjustable difficulty, like all of the other Atlas games do now. So that's great.
Right.
I love accessibility in games.
I do too. I hate when people complain about like first Berserker Khazan has difficulty mode and accessibility options.
Hell
and
yeah.
all like the hardcore Souls fans are like, "That's bullshit. It's not a real Souls game. It has difficulty settings." I'm like, no. From Software just does not believe in making their games accessible.
Yeah, and they say, hey, you can meet us on your level, on this level or not, and that's fine. I'm good with that, but I prefer it to have the options.
Like if
I want, some days I'm not feeling it. I want to bump down the difficulty.
Right, yeah, and that game is still apparently hard. It's just like you can make certain things a bit easier. Like
probably like parry timing. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
I like
it's great for people with bad vision, like me.
Yeah, exactly. Bad vision or just literal accessibility issues where you can't get the timing right. Like good. I love it. Plus, it gets more Ben Starr in your life, and everyone needs more.
Apparently, he's not in that game as much as you'd want him to be.
He's the main character.
I know, and apparently he doesn't talk a lot.
Oh, well, that's fine. But I don't need him to talk a lot. I just need him to grumble a lot.
I do need Ben Starr to talk a lot.
No, I just need a grumble. A Clive.
I need Clive's deep bass in my fucking ears.
Yeah. Clive doesn't talk too much. At least, for your first half of 16.
I'm about to say he talks a lot, but that in the latter it is the latter half of 16 where he is like full on soliloquying the audience.
Yeah. And he kind of loses me at that point. That's me.
He's no Sid from that game.
No. Oh my god. What's the name of that actor?
I can't remember, but man,
he was also in Diablo 4 in the last year. He's the father in the Vavitch.
Yeah, he's really good. I can't think of his name off the cuff.
So Ralph Innocent.
Yes, Ralph Innocent. He is fantastic.
A man that truly sounds like he's been chewing on worlds and cigars for the last 60 years.
Still is.
Yeah, good for him. Keep going.
So last week we made predictions about what would come out at this Switch 2 announcements direct. It's a very weird thing to say, a Switch 2 announcement direct. Too many words. We'll call it the Switch 2 Direct.
Switch 2 Direct. Yeah.
We made predictions. So, do you have the predictions in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Can you run us through them and say who got the closest?
All right. So, let's go over price first.
Oh yeah, we don't know the price. I don't know the price yet.
You don't, so we kind of kept this hidden.
On $350.
So Josh, do you know what you remember your price?
$349.99.
$349.99. I said $399.99. $450.
Oh!
That's our.
Is that with the
that was my
game?
yeah. Nope. $500. That's entirely what I expected. I said $450 was my actual guess, and my $399.99 was my attempt to split the difference. I have it written in my notes.
I mean,
so
they are going for well, to be fair, I did not expect it to put out what it's putting out when I made these predictions.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, but now like seeing 4K 60, 1080p 120, and with how good like Mario Kart looked, for example, I'm like, I can buy it. Yeah, honestly,
it's kind of outputting at the same rate as a first generation PS5.
I think it validates that price, honestly.
Yeah. And what a PS5 digital only? That's $400, right?
400 now. I think it was 500 at launch, and I think
that sounds right.
And I think the Pro is 600.
God.
Or the Pro is 500. One or the other.
Did you make the jump to the Pro?
No, I have. Again, I
didn't need to.
Don't need to. I rode my launch PS4 out. I'll ride this out.
So
I saw the differences between Final Fantasy, like the Rebirth, and I was like, I can barely tell. Like people are like, the game looks so washed out in performance mode. I'm like, this game looks absolutely fucking gorgeous to me in performance mode.
People were also complaining about Silent Hill 2 remake looking terrible and washed out. I was like, well, one. Supposed to look washed
they
out.
did it. Good job. Yes.
Good
job. Bloober team.
Bloober nailed it.
Game's so great.
It looks so fucking amazing. You just didn't play Silent Hill 2 originally.
That game looked like trash then.
Exactly.
It just had atmosphere.
and then the re-release ran like trash and kind of looked better.
It actually looked worse because they had to like rebuild it because they didn't have the source code anymore.
Yeah, well, I think some of the designs got a good upscale, but the running and like the actual graphics, like you said, look fucking terrible. Real quick, just to bounce to our PS5 discussion, 500, 400, 700. That's the base, digital, and pro pricing. Yeah,
it's 700.
700.
Yeah, no shot. Yeah, I'm good with my launch PS5.
450 solid. Yeah. Oh yeah. No way.
So 450, and we gotta take into effect inflation, tariffs, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. So games, I'm assuming, are 70 at launch. Do they have Mario Kart World's price on there by chance?
No. It does only cost you 500 to get the digital edition. So if it is, I think they're gonna hit 60 still.
I mean, Tears was 70, so I don't know.
I think maybe a big game like that. But I don't even think that Metroid 4 is gonna hit 70. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see with Donkey Kong and Metroid Prime 4 where we're talking for their big releases.
I'm so excited for that Donkey Kong game. It looks so sick.
Great. All right. Now for next easy discussion, launch date. This was announced in the Direct. I didn't have to go to a separate site to find this. So we got June 5th.
4th.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because you said you had
June 4th.
19 days. Oh, I think you just did bad math earlier when you said 19 days.
Double check. I'll double check it.
Okay. June 4th would make more. Oh, wait. I'm looking at April. I think it's June 5th because that's a Thursday.
June 5th, like I said.
Yeah, June 5th. Exactly like you said. Yeah, so we got June 5th. That is much closer to your guess. Do you remember what your guess was?
I get it launched on Death Stranding 2 day.
Yep, Death Stranding 2 day, as it is known
June.
already.
Yeah. It's how it.
I guess
that is going to be a
July
day
11th.
in my house. That is my wife. Like, I'm sorry. I packed some peanut butter and jellies in the fridge for you.
Yep, I have 6 hours of cutscenes to watch, and then I got to walk around.
And I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, I bounced into Death Stranding again recently to go back into this, and I bounced back out.
That's
and played
perfectly
the game. That was
fine.
fun.
I understand that it is not in every one game.
No.
Maybe it's because I have been fucking Hideo Kojima's been like doing math in my brain since I was literally 3 years old. That
hey, I've played his games for just as long, but he is obviously actually in there for you.
Yeah, like it's hardwired into my brain.
I see too much of like the influence that he brings into it, and it kind of makes me roll my eyes a lot.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love it.
No, not for me. But hey,
super high concept,
guy, great creator.
dumb as shit. I love it.
Yeah, if the game was actually fun, I would like it. If it was fun all the time, I will say that there are some very, very fun moments in the game, even early in the game.
Oh yeah,
it's just the walking actually sucks. Let's see. Now we're gonna go over trailers. So I'll just list out the ones that I said. I was expecting a Wind Waker HD remake. Kind of hit on that. We got our GameCube release, but it's not our.
I'll give you
HD.
half a point for that.
Half a point.
I'll give you
sure.
half a point. It wasn't the HD collection.
Star Fox Adventures 2,
yeah.
That was my shot in the dark. No chance.
I will let you. You will win the whole contest if that got announced. Straight up.
Donkey Kong. So hit that, and then I have it written here in my notes as blank of the blank. That was my some Zelda game.
Age of the Imprisonment.
Age of the Imprisonment. Sounds terrible. But yeah, so I hit those. Do you have your trailers written down?
Oh, no, I don't. Not in front of me, at least.
Okay. I know you were definitely agreed on Donkey Kong. You expected that trailer.
Yeah, I said Donkey Kong. I think I said Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, you said as a launch
game?
Yep.
Oh, I said a WarioWare game, like your gimmick game. We did get the gimmick game. Technically, the Switch paid... look at all our gimmicks.
Yeah,
is that
and there are a lot of little games in there.
What would you call Mario Party a gimmick game?
Well, the what was it? Roller coaster mode of Mario Party Jamboree was definitely.
Oh wait, no, Drag Drive. Drag Drive's our gimmick game.
Yeah, but it's not the
It
gimmick
doesn't use
game
all
that
the
you
gimmicks.
were talking
No,
about.
it's not.
You said a WarioWare gimmick game.
Yeah,
So,
like 1-2 Switch WarioWare, Snipper Clips, like
yeah,
a bullshit, like very launch game.
yeah. But yeah, I think our Nintendo Switch 2 tour and the Mario Party Jamboree roller coaster portion definitely are covering that for you.
Okay, so I said those
Uh,
two. I think I did say, I can't remember if it was a launch game or a trailer, but I said something about Supergiant, which we did see Hades 2.
Yeah, I think that was your trailer. You definitely
Okay.
you said, yep.
So,
So yeah, you're 3 for 3
ooh,
on those.
Nostradamus speaks to me.
And then for launch, we both said Mario Kart. I have it written as Mario Kart 9.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think I just said new Mario Kart. Mario Kart World, good name. Can't believe we didn't think of it.
Good name. Oh yeah, absolutely. You're going with the Nintendo naming convention of when it opens up and it becomes bigger, you call it the World game. Love it. Pokemon Z to A, I expect it to be launched. That will not. That's going to be a holiday game. They didn't say exactly when, but probably going to be a November to potentially.
That's
January.
definitely a Christmas game. Pokemon is 100% a Christmas game.
Yep. And then I have Animal Well listed out, and that was just my some big launch indie game. Don't really think we had that. Deltarune, I guess.
Deltarune. Nothing for launch. Yeah. Silksong, the big indie game that's not going to be launched.
Yeah, no. Just 2025. Not even summer, fall. No idea.
Nope.
Maybe by the end of the year. It was also funny that it was kind of included
in there.
The
sizzle reel.
Yeah, it's just got these little like, look at everybody right between Konitsugama and Nobunaga's Ambition.
Yeah,
one of the most hyped indie sequels of the modern era, if not the most.
Man, that game, like, I don't care how good it is. Like, every day that it doesn't come out, I think people are going to hate it more when it releases. Like, it's gonna be why did it take this long? Well, one, it's probably a fucking amazing game. It's probably tuned to perfection, but it's not going to like change people's lives because it's a video game, and people are gonna be mad about that.
Just like Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah. Oh, just it's gonna be our
building
Starfield.
The hate.
Starfield? Okay.
It bored the hell out of me.
Yep, it's the most 6.5 out of 10 a game's ever been.
I don't know. The worst thing a game can be is boring. If you can be bad and be fun, but literally just to be boring.
No pizzazz.
Like, they start you out in a mine. Like, and then you go from the mine to the most drab ass planet. It was like the inverse of the Skyrim Oblivion moment where you're coming out of the prison or the dungeon.
You come out into
and you see this gorgeous world.
It's just a brown world. Like, oh, we're back on the PS3.
Yeah. Good job, Tad. You really went with that NASA punk boring ass aesthetic. Stuck to your guns and shot yourself in the foot. Anyways.
So what was next? We had launch date, trailer, price,
and launch games. We went through all 4 categories.
So
what were your launch games?
My launch games were, man, I should have wrote this down. Should have looked it up.
Sure should have.
I thought you were tracking these. This is my bad.
I was tracking them on the first record and then lost them on the second.
That's fine. So I think it was Mario. Fucking, I don't remember. All I remember is Mario Kart. Oh, I said Donkey Kong as a Switch launch game, but it doesn't look like that's true. So I said Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and I think I said Tomodachi Life. No, that was the first one. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I have that written down for you. I think you said it the second.
Yeah, I think I said it as a launch.
I have Tom Life written down. So
yes,
and we didn't even see it again this week, did we?
No, we didn't. But that we know it's a 2026 game now. So
yeah,
we'll have to go back, listeners. Let's go back to the last episode and tell me how I just dumb and don't remember things that I said a week ago.
Yeah, email Josh directly.
Yeah, at jarvis.jarvis@gmail.com.
Damn, nailed it.
And poor whoever Jarvis is.
Poor guy. I will say this for the Switch and the mouse leading into, first person, better first person controls, or better shooter controls rather. I'd love to see Rivals announced for the Switch too.
I don't see a world where that doesn't happen, because they already said Fortnite's coming. The people at NetEase are like, we're printing money right now, baby. Let me get in the hands of more children.
Yep. Hey, it's great. Give me that free game on there that I'm going to spend another 100 hours.
Venom's working on it.
The question is, am I going to have to make another account or not?
I don't know, because actually, yes. Because if you want to go from PlayStation to, yes, you will.
Yeah.
So
I think you would.
I don't know about that. I already have the Venom twerking. My Venom can twerk. I don't know if I'm taking that anywhere else. I think it's just staying on Steam.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't mind, because I enjoy the game for the game. I don't spend a lot of money on it.
So. Yeah, I think I bought the first 2 battle passes and the $3 for what this Venom thing is. I've paid like $23.
Same.
And I put almost 100 hours in, so I believe games earn my money, and they 100% earn my money. Like, I will give a free-to-play game money if I play them enough. Is there anything else you want to talk about with the Switch 2, though?
No. Other than I think at the beginning of this podcast, we both said we were whelmed by it. But I think talking it all out, I'm feeling a little above whelmed, not overwhelmed. But yeah, talking it out, I'm feeling pretty excited for the Switch 2. I don't necessarily know that I am a day one buyer. And does that mean that I'm not going to get it this year if I don't buy it day one?
That's the question.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think I might be a day one buyer. I tend to get all my consoles on launch, and then I just pray for them to make it through the entire life cycle.
Yeah.
I've only had one console ever die on me, and that was my PS3, and it died like a couple months after the PS4 came out. Luckily, I had a PS4, but I still wanted to play my PS3 games because I'm weird like that.
Yeah, I had one PS2 not die, but I remember it just got kind of chuggy, and so I got a Slim. And then I had Launch 360, which I kept for maybe 4 or 5 years. Like
that's an impressive run for that thing.
Over. Exactly, it was a beautiful life. I had the wood paneling on that. I got that Christmas Day. That was good stuff.
Yeah, so I think I'll probably get the Switch 2. And if you don't get it on launch, I'll just come over. We'll play some Mario Kart. We'll get a feel for it. Because I definitely want to play that Mario Kart game. That looks like me in bed,
like so much fun.
Not going to bed on time, even though I try to go to bed super early because I'm an old guy on work days.
Right.
Like, that was the problem with Hades, is like I kept going to sleep late because I'd sit there, I'm like, I'll play a couple runs of Hades, and like 10 runs later, I'm like, fuck, it's 2 a.m. I gotta be up in 3 hours.
So
and I can see my ass for Hades too, driving around in Mario Kart World, just especially if they have a lot of the open world like Forza Horizon stuff to do.
I don't think we'll be seeing that. I feel like the open world is just going to be for dicking around and just getting to other races and stuff. But we'll see.
I really hope
I would love to see some coin collecting out there.
That is my least, like, put stars out there, make billboards, like, do the thing. Like, nothing makes me turn away from a game faster than a game that is open world that does not need to be.
Well, and I think the open world is going to be by choice. You can probably choose to fast travel to the start of your race or not, but also you can go off track. They showed quite a bit in that trailer, so it looks exciting.
Yeah. And hopefully, like, all the different vehicles feel like different. Like, the water feels different from the off-roading versus on the road. So I think there's like, they already show like there's possibly different styles of racing. So that's where like that Forza stuff could come in.
You kind of hit that in Mario Kart 8 as well, with just using different tires and everything. They already have a different feel for all of that. But so I definitely feel like you're gonna want to optimize for whatever kind of track you're going on.
Yeah, and the guy unlocked the clothes somehow.
Yeah, the clothing, but it seemed like they were changing outfits mid race at certain points. I don't know if that was just for the trailer or if it was unlocking different abilities. I don't know.
We'll see.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'll definitely probably buy this day one. Again,
yeah.
I think Direct overall whelmed. Like just like the present, I think Nintendo's kind of boring with how they do their directs. Like I miss the old style. Like call me old. I miss like when we have like the conferences, like how like when PS4 was like coming out and like the first couple of years of PS4, like those E3s and those state of plays.
Yeah, but I hate crowds now. Like I think
That's true.
crowds of people are terrible. Like the just hearing their reactions and how often they would boo something just to boo it. I think it yeah. I prefer it this way.
Yeah. So I mean I like there's not a lot of games I'm super excited about, but that's usually how Nintendo goes for me. Like
that's usually how launches go.
Honestly, that's how all launches. There are no really like super good launches other than I think Nintendo kind of owns them with Switch One and Nintendo 64 having Mario 64 as a launch game.
Yeah.
So I like PS5 launch, like you had Miles Morales. I think Returnal was a semi close to launch game.
Very close.
Because Ratchet was not a launch game.
No.
But that first year was great. First year PS5 was like, I can't wait for Returnal 2.
well, we're hitting the other Housemarque game before we hit Returnal 2.
No, that other Housemarque game is effectively Returnal 2.
Yeah, but it's not Returnal 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you finish Returnal, like, there's a definitive end in that story.
Yeah. It all just loops back around. This is not a spoiler.
Yeah, no, that's the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So, before we close it out, Jarvis, we have to end how we end every week here at the Pixel Pickers. Your non-video game recommendation of the week.
My non-video game recommendation for this week is going to be a throwback for me, something that I loved growing up. This was a big sit around maybe every Thursday night, I think it was. Me and my dad were into it, and then me and my sister got hooked on watching the DVDs. I've rewatched this show. Well, I'm rewatching it right now with the dog. So this is probably the 5th rewatch for me. Lost.
Okay, I figured
Lost is currently our I'm walking out of the house and Ruby needs something to listen to. So I put on Lost and then I come in and watch like 3 episodes after I finish a walk because like it's just so it hooks me every time. But yeah, if you haven't seen Lost, I definitely recommend it. You're going to hear shit about the ending being bad, but everyone hates an ending.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3 is a great game. It's just the ending is not that great.
Yeah, because you're tying up, 180 hours of gameplay and storyline into one moment. And that's what you're doing with, 6 seasons of television, fraught with writer's strikes and other things like that, and just a lot of early ideas that don't come to fruition. But it's the characters, it's the fun, it's the mystery. I definitely recommend it if you haven't watched it, and if you have tried to watch it in the past, give it another try. I think it pays off a lot of really great character moments and has just such a stellar cast for the most part. How about you?
So mine's also a nostalgia throwback, way older throwback than Lost. So I was scrolling on Max, formerly known as HBO Max, formerly known as HBO Go. I grew up with Godzilla as a big part of my life. I used to have the VHSs where if you put them all, like it's like a collection where they're all together, it made one huge picture going across like all the tapes. But my favorite Godzilla movies were the 90s movies, like Godzilla, Godzilla
99 American Godzilla
like Godzilla
movie,
like
favorite.
85, I think it was called, was like the reboot of Godzilla, and like all the way up into like the not great but Space Godzilla.
Very fun,
right? But they put Godzilla versus Biollante on there. And
does Biollante have the
big flower one?
No. It has the psychic girl in it. Is that? Yeah. Biollante. That one rules.
Then Gamera kind of rehashes that same trope.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Godzilla movie.
It's a good choice.
Personally, it's on HBO. You can watch it, and you should, because those 90s Godzilla movies, other than buying them on Blu-ray, are very hard to find. They don't show up on streaming. because I look for them all the time.
Odd rights issues.
It is exactly a rights issue. So highly recommend. It is a B-ass B movie. It's silly. It's dumb. It's a lot of fun. You like
movies like this don't exist anymore.
They really don't. But like the design work of the 90s Godzilla, even though this movie did come out in 89, like that series, I think it's the Heisei series, or is that the original? I don't remember. They all have like eras. Like we're in the Heisei era now or something, with like Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Just the designs.
Also recommendations for those. I recommend all Godzilla movies, even the bad ones.
Yeah, they're still fun. Even the bad ones are fun.
Yep, even the bad American one. Well, honestly, I don't recommend Godzilla 2016. That's the only Godzilla I don't recommend. No, 2012. King of the Monsters
2014. Godzilla 2014, the first
2014. Reboot. Yeah, it's just boring. It's the worst thing a movie can be.
It starts good, falls off in the middle,
and then has some okay bits.
The puking down the fucking monster, that was hype though.
Yeah. That was good, but you can't sell a movie to me based on 5 good scenes. No, because the Halo jump.
Oh, the trailer.
Just go watch the trailer for Godzilla 2014.
Go watch that trailer. That's a hype trailer.
That's better than the entire first American reboot of Godzilla.
That trailer is better than most Godzilla movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I felt something when I saw that.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think I knew that was a Godzilla trailer, so it was even cooler to be like.
I saw it in theaters the first time I saw it, and then I was like, "Oh, this looks sick." I thought it was like a Zero Dark 30 thing, and then it was Godzilla, and I was like,
just straight into him.
So hype. Yeah, just go watch that. The designs for that era of Godzilla are goated. If you haven't looked up a picture of Desostroya before, spell it like it sounds. It looks like the devil, and it's sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my recommendation. It's a very me-ass recommendation. So no one's going to go look it up, but you should.
Absolutely. I agree.
But yeah, I think that does it for us, Jarvis. Unless you have anything else you want to do, say.
Looking over notes real quick, and I think we're all good. So I think that brings us to the end of the Pixel Pickers podcast. Josh, I hope you had a really fun week going over our mostly pretty okay Switch predictions. I think we were
pretty accurate,
not spot on, but we got some good stuff in
there. We didn't do any like far left out, way out there guesses other than Star Fox, but we tried.
Yeah, and your 3-point layup as you shot over the line to get Tamagotchi life.
That was a half court. That was a full court shot blindfolded.
But you were literally just floated in and got it. It was beautiful. Well, yeah, I think that brings us to the end. I'm Jarvis.
And I'm Josh.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take us. Bye.
Bye.